Okay. Okay, well, so that was the personal email assistant. I guess I will show one other cool thing with that since we're on that topic. So one really cool thing is you can schedule tasks. Okay. Oh, sorry. Ooh, yeah. Oh, actually, you can't do that in Claude.ai. Never mind. You can only do it in Claude Cowork. So never mind. Just ignore I said that. Okay, so we'll move into the last task here, which is a personal executive assistant. So like I was hinting at before, like you can do so much more than just read emails. You can connect Claude to all the different apps you use. And again, how to do that is there's two ways to do it. I think this way is a little bit neater. So if you go to here, click settings on the bottom left, connectors. Okay, and then you have like this nice interface. You can add custom connectors. For example, that's what I have for my social media posting app here. But if you click browse connectors, it really does have support for like a lot of different stuff. So what I'm going to show now is Airtable. So I'm going to search Airtable. Right, I'm going to click plus. And I wanted to show this from scratch because like people get confused at this step. So it depends on the app, but depending on the app, Claude may require you to specify exactly what it gets access to. So here in Airtable, if you guys are not familiar with Airtable, it's like a fancy spreadsheet and you can have like multiple fancy spreadsheets. So you have the option to add all of the spreadsheets, give Claude access to everything. However, that's not like super safe, secure practices. So what I recommend is just adding the Airtable, what they call bases or spreadsheets that you want Claude to access. So for example, let's say my YouTube Airtable and then my short form Airtable. So my shorts and my long videos. Then go ahead and click grant access. Okay, and you should see it here. When it's connected, it should say Airtable. And just like before, if you click configure, you will see the permissions it has. So for read-only tools, it says needs approval. I'm personally going to change this to always allow. Honestly, there isn't sensitive data in those Airtables. Okay, it's just like what YouTube videos am I posting, what shorts am I posting. For write delete tools, I generally leave it at needs approval. Okay, just for safety purposes. Okay, and then now what we can do is start a new chat and we can ask Claude to interact with our Airtable. So let me show you my Airtable first so you can get an idea of like what are we looking at here. So this is my Airtable for my YouTube pipeline. And you can see here, like everything here that says editing is currently being edited. So like there's a lot in the pipeline. Yeah. And I took last week off for making content too, but there's a lot of videos we got backlogged. But yeah, so let's ask Claude what it can do with it. So can you tell me from my YouTube Airtable summarize the ongoing that's a weird term. Summarize the videos still in progress. I could have just said summarize the videos, but yeah. So now let's see what Claude does. So if it works, it should look for Airtable because I said from my Airtable. Okay, search for an Airtable base, searching. Now it's returning the summary of the specified base. It's really cool. You can like see what Claude is thinking. I highly recommend following along so that you can just like understand what AI is trying to do. Okay, so it's going to do all of these things. It's asking for permission. I'm going to say always allow just because it's like reading this and it's not changing anything yet. Okay. And it's literally this is the first time ever it's seeing this Airtable, right? Like we just connected this just now. So it went to my Airtable, it analyzed the different columns, okay? It saw the column called status, okay? It saw the different statuses and it thought about it, okay? And then here's a summary of like a bunch of videos. This includes a bunch of videos that I also haven't filmed yet, so to do, right? So it's like summarizing it. And obviously you can go in more detail. Like I can even have it update these videos. So let's just say this one. Let's just say, oh, I already posted this one. Please update. So now we're moving from Claude not just reading the information from your apps, but it can actually update the information from your apps. And this is a really important thing to understand. Like once you kind of cross, I would say the first big conceptual thing to cross is the concept of connectors, otherwise known as tools or MCP. Once you understand that, then understanding that AI can actually update all of the systems you actually use. Okay, now it says Claude Mythos has been updated to published. Let's see if it did that or if it hallucinated. Okay, cool. Let me refresh this. Boom. So Claude Mythos was updated to publish. So if you saw it before, it was in review. Now it's updated to published by Claude, right? Like I didn't touch this. I'm going to change this back. But you can actually have AI like updates a bunch of data from your Airtable. I haven't set this up yet, but I really should. Like check my YouTube channel daily and like update the missing data here in this Airtable. Like you can definitely do that. So once you realize this, now it's about, whoa, AI can like do all of this for me. What tools should I connect to it? What things do I trust it with to update this information? And you can still drive the process. Remember, it asked me for permission, right, to update this stuff. So you can have it do that so it doesn't update stuff without your permission. But once you cross this understanding, like set up connectors and then realize like connectors can update your data, that's when AI becomes really, really powerful because it's getting work done. It's not just like yapping with AI telling you everything that you should do. Now you can tell AI everything you want it to do. Like, okay, go to my Airtable, check my YouTube channel, and like update the status of a bunch of stuff. Okay, if you have any questions on this so far, I'm going to pause here. Okay, and then I'm going to check the YouTube chat. Yeah, my Claude Mythos video is like 3 weeks overdue, so I don't know if it has the latest information. Apify and its benefits to connect to Claude. Yeah, I mean, Apify is one of my favorite connectors. So if you haven't heard of it, it's basically like a marketplace of scrapers. So basically, all of these people have built ways to scrape TikTok, scrape Google Maps, scrape Amazon, scrape Instagram, scrape Facebook posts. And when you connect this with Claude, it can go and scrape stuff. So you could connect the Apify and then tell Claude, use Apify to scrape my best performing TikTok videos from the past week, or use Apify to download the transcripts of this Instagram reel, or use Apify to scrape local businesses in this zip code who fit this criteria, like for lead generation. So I do think it's really powerful to connect Apify or a similar kind of scraper, right? So if I go to my connectors, again, I mostly use Claude Code, not Claude.ai or Claude Desktop as much, but GitHub is awesome because it's where I store all of my code in projects. Airtable is kind of like my single source of truth. It's where I keep like track of what content I'm posting, YouTube videos going out. Canva, I was just testing that out to make different assets. Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive. Apify, I do have connected in my Claude Code. I just don't have it here. And then obviously I use my own app's custom connector here to be able to post to social media. So Apify is really powerful, highly recommended, and it's very cheap because you just pay as you go. Like these scrapers are just like $1.70 for 1,000 results, right? So they're just very cheap. You just pay as you go. Okay. Will the 30-day challenge actually teach about Claude Code? I don't think so. If one of the people want to correct me on that, I don't think so. Like this is really meant to get women who don't know much about AI feeling much more confident by the end of 4 weeks. So it's not so much about like the particular tool, but about like different prompts or ways to use AI tools for these use cases. So professional use case, financial use case, career, or content use cases. I'm honestly not. I honestly doubt that any of these will go in depth in Claude Code. You know. I customized AI to call me princess. I like that. So in theory, Claude can draft emails, pull emails from a sheet, and all you need to do is verify and send. Yeah, 100%. In fact, I use Claude Code to send emails. For example, when I do outbound partnership emails, like if I want to collaborate with YouTubers that I haven't with yet, Claude will scrape the YouTubers, scrape their emails, write the email, and then send it out, like all within Claude Code. So yeah, it's really possible. You just have to understand, like, the main thing I want you to understand is like connect your connectors, the apps you actually use. Okay. And then go ask Claude to do what you would manually do. If you would go there and manually like look at your spreadsheets, get the email, open Gmail, write the email, then send it, tell Claude that that's your workflow. Tell Claude, hey, this is what I'm doing manually today. Step A, B, C, D. And then ask Claude, how can I automate this or streamline this within Claude Code or within Claude and using connectors? It'll tell you, connect your Google Sheets or Google Drive accounts, connect your Gmail accounts, and then I will be able to read your sheets, write an email, and then draft an email while you just verify and send. So once you really understand connectors and that you can not only read data but write like updates and delete data, that's when that is when I see a huge productivity unlock for people, and they really wrap their minds around that. Because again, it's I go back to this example. It's the difference between just yapping with AI, like you just made an amazing plan. Unfortunately, like it's all on you to do it. This flips the model. Now this is about, okay, what can I get AI to do for me? And then the next level, even beyond this, which we're not going to talk about today, but the next level beyond this is having it proactive, like scheduling Claude to do this automatically, or having a trigger when this happens. Claude is going to do this automatically, and it could even just surface it to you for review and approval, but it just does everything else automatically. So like that is those are like conceptually like the models or models of competency, I would say, when it comes to using AI. Okay. So yeah, that was it in terms of using AI as your personal executive assistant. That actually took less time than I thought it would, so that was great. And yeah, if you want to grab the prompt framework here, I will think of a cuter name because I can't even remember this, but this is my favorite one to remember. Just ask me lots of clarifying questions. And then here was the example for the personalization. Remember, we went in there. And then, yeah, that is pretty much it. Okay, so I guess I can just answer questions now unless there's something specific the team would like me to focus on. If you haven't yet, make sure you sign up for the challenge. So in YouTube, check the video description, and there should be a link there to sign up for the challenge. And again, to win the prizes, I'm just gonna read it so I don't get it wrong. Okay, so share what you learn on Instagram or LinkedIn every week. Make sure you use hashtag AI Adoption Challenge, and every week we're gonna choose one winner that gets $500 for that week. And then there's also a grand prize, which is $3,000 in cash plus 4 30-minute coaching calls, not with me, but with the other co-hosts of the challenge. Okay. I'm going to read this text. Oh, you must be a U.S. resident to win the cash, but we have non-cash prizes for non-U.S. residents. Okay, so. Is there a way to turn a 60-minute internal training session into a well-edited training video? Yes, I would check out Remotion and Hyperframes. You can connect both of them to Claude Code. I will say, though, that like, you know, I currently hire long form YouTube editors, and there is still a big gap between what AI can do and edit for long form versus how a human can polish it up. So I think Remotion Hyperframes are really awesome for like short form content. If you've seen some of my recent content, I just like make a cool animation, have it play behind me, but it's still like quite a ways off for long form content. And it also takes a ton of time to process a long video. Like, so you'll like literally be sitting there waiting, and then you have to go back and change this one thing, and that takes forever. Settings for Airtable. So just to be safe, I recommend giving it access to the specific bases that you want it to use. So let me go through it again, because I know a lot of people have questions about like permissions, and this is like, honestly, this interface is the cleanest way to manage permissions across your tools. So go ahead and click Connect for Airtable. Okay, and here you can add all resources, but for security reasons, I recommend adding specific bases, because if you add all resources, it's going to allow Claude to access all of your bases, including any additional Airtables shared with you in the future. So just for general safety hygiene, like select which pieces of data you want Airtable or you want Claude to be able to access, and then click Grant Access. Like, I know there's a lot of like security concerns. That's why I spent a little bit more time on this than I normally would. So now we have it connected, and then click Configure. And this is where you can allow the specific things you want it to do. And you can be really specific. Like if you want all of this to needs approval, or maybe you want this to always be allowed, right? You can highly make it specific to your use cases. Okay. Class is one. Yeah, this is the initial kickoff call. So this was meant to be beginner friendly. How long? This class is 1 hour. And then my dogs are going to go play. And then every day you're going to get an email to learn an AI tip. So just look out for that in your inbox. So 1 AI tip a day, so that you can learn AI in only 10 minutes a day. And by the end of the month, feel much more confident about different ways to use AI. Could you explain how to add custom connectors? Yeah, sure. So this is a little bit more advanced, but there are unfortunately a lot of apps that don't have official connectors yet. So for example, I have my own app does not have an official connector. So all you have to do is go to on the bottom here, click Add Custom Connector, and then the name is just what you're naming it, okay? So the app that, whatever you're connecting to, should have some kind of instruction that gives you the URL. It's usually something like this. However, you can just ask Claude. Like you can say, Claude, I'm connecting to this tool. What is the link for this? What is the remote MCP server URL? Okay, you usually don't need these. Okay, so but just ask Claude. Like I'm trying to connect this app. What is the remote MCP URL? It usually looks something like this. Okay, once you click Add, I already have it, so that's why it's like erroring out. But let me click Configure. So once you do that, it will show you the same permissions, and then it's going to ask you to log into the platform either with your API key or by logging into the website. So it's super easy to add a custom connector as well. You just need their unique URL. But I literally just ask Claude, because usually it's in the product's documentation, so Claude can find it. So I'll just be like, Claude, I'm trying to connect this custom MCP server, give me the URL, and then that's all you have to do. You just name just refers to like how you want it to be named within your settings. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you name this. You just need that second field, remote MCP server URL. Is it a bad idea to have chat help you create your instructions for Claude? Yeah, I mean, I just generally wouldn't recommend starting with super long instructions. Like I'd recommend starting with just a few instructions and then adding from there based on what you actually want Claude to use or do. If you do have super long instructions though, you can drop them into a project just to test it out, right? So click New Project and be like, test. Right? Create the project, and then it will ask you what are the instructions, what files you want to add. You can actually export that long thing from ChatGPT, drop it in here as a file, and then start your conversations. So that way you can like test whether those instructions make sense for you. Like you may find I don't like this part of the instruction, or Claude is like answering weird over here. I need to change my instructions. So this is a nice way to kind of like test different types of instructions without changing how Claude is interacting with you all over the place. So the context is insulated to this particular project. Can you give us an example of how to use Claude with Google Calendar? Yeah, sure. So it's pretty much the exact same process. So bottom left, settings, connectors, and then I already have mine enabled, but let me just disconnect it. Okay. So click Browse Connectors up here if you don't have it already, and then search for Google Calendar. Right. So over here. Okay, it's going to ask you which calendar you want. Sign in. Okay, so now we have Google Calendar connected. Let me zoom in. Okay, click Configure again so you can see what the permissions are. So I'm allowing it to always read my calendar, but I don't want it to update my calendar without my permission. Okay, so now let's go back to the chat and test it out. So let's say create a calendar event that starts in 5 minutes, and it's a doggy play date outside. Okay, whatever. And if this works, then Claude should be like, oh, you have a Google Calendar. Okay, so look, Claude wants to create a calendar event from Google Calendar. By the way, you can change your permissions here. So if you want to always allow this, you can click always allow. If you want to allow this only this time, you can click allow once. If you don't want to allow this, click deny. I'm just going to say allow once. And then it should create a calendar invite. So here were the fields it filled out: doggy playdate, start event is live on your Google Calendar. Okay. And then you can also have it read your calendar. So be like, what are the let's see, the top 3 most important meetings I have next week. Oh, it's getting warm in here. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet. So I do have meetings next week. So yeah, I'm learning Facebook ads from Mitch. He's really awesome. This is a new YouTube agency I'm working with. Honorable mentions. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's how you can use Calendar. It's the same concept. So I think what I'm trying to drill in here is like, once you understand connectors, then it becomes about which apps do I want to give Claude access to, and then what do I want it to do for me that I'm currently doing manually. So let's say you, for some reason, have a task to create like 10 different calendar events. You can just tell Claude to do it, right? So you don't have to like sit there and click manually through Google's interface. Yes, Claude can clean up your emails. If you use Claude Cowork or Claude Code, it can actually clean up your computer as well. That's one of the use cases I like to show. It can just like totally organize a folder. It can tag videos or rename videos, rename photos. So there's a lot of things it could do. Do you recommend creating separate Google accounts or emails to start using connectors, or is it better to use your main? I think if you're brand new to AI, I would try it in just a spare Google account so you get the hang of it and so that you're comfortable with it. That's just general advice whenever trying any tool, right? So just like your spare, I'm sure you have like a throwaway Google account, and you can practice there, like the types of things it can do and get comfortable with it. Then once you're comfortable with it, you can connect to your main account. Yes, I do have videos showing how to use Claude to clean up your computer. Yeah. But I don't think you can do it with Claude.ai though, but there are things like Claude Cowork and Claude Desktop. So I'm just going to put this link here if you feel you're like ready for the next step. I think it's this page. Yeah. Go to claude.com/download. Unfortunately, this is only for Mac though. Just kidding. There's a Windows one too. Okay, cool. So you can download the Claude Desktop app, which has Claude Cowork and Claude Code. And through the desktop app, Claude will be able to access your local files. So this person who is asking about like organizing files and stuff like that, you can do that with Claude Desktop. So that would be like the next level of I guess progression. But okay, hang on. Okay, so we're almost up. So yeah, just make sure you've registered for the challenge and check your inbox on a daily basis. So you're going to get AI tips on these topics, right? Oh, let me just go here. So week 1 will be professional and productivity. Week 2 will be financial. Week 3 will be career, resumes. And week 4 will be marketing, content, and voice. Okay, so every single day it's going to be like AI tidbits, like one tiny thing you can try or one tiny thing to learn so that you will feel much more confident using AI by the end of this month. And so it is geared towards beginners, okay? So feel free to share this with your parents, maybe your grandparents, neighbors, people who just like have no idea about any of the stuff I just talked about today. This is a really, really good entry point. It's beginner friendly and it's only 10 minutes a day. Like you're going to get that email with a nice little tidbit. Is it going, can we listen to this after? Yeah, it will be up. But I usually have it edited and put up in like a week or two. Yeah, we have over 6,000 women registered, guys, and so it's really exciting initiative. And yeah, I found out about this Reese Witherspoon video 2 days ago. Funny enough, like I found out about it by browsing this website. I was like, oh, wait a minute. And apparently there was like a super viral video on this topic. But yeah, so in any women in your life, who would love to learn AI, please invite them to this. It's really meant to be super beginner friendly and open to everyone. So, okay. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining. So we're up at the hour. Yeah, could you share thank you. So yeah, let me share this link again with the Women's AI Challenge. So just make sure everybody signed up for that. Okay. Is it just emails? I think so. So Jenny could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you're going to get a 10 minutes AI lesson every day inside your email. Like it's going to be an Instagram video, but like within your email. So just look out for that every day. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they never received confirmation email. Okay. What a URL. Yes, I will be better about that. Noted. But yeah, people don't know acronyms, so I have to stop using acronyms. So the next lesson I think is tomorrow, and you should get it via email, and it should just be like a 10-minute video delivered via email. Yeah, there will be a replay on my YouTube, but like in a week. So, okay, so make sure you guys check your spam folder, because sometimes these emails will land in spam, especially since they link to an Instagram reel. You do not have to upgrade Claude to participate. I personally have live sessions every Friday, but this is separate. This is the Women's AI Challenge kickoff call. And make sure you signed up here. The email should come from, that's a good question. I believe it comes from thewomencreators.com. So it should be like a name and then at thewomencreators.com. So for the challenge, all you have to do is just post about what you learned. Yeah. So if I go here, yeah. So just share what you learned on Instagram or LinkedIn. Just make sure you use hashtag AI adoption challenge so we can find it. And then, yeah, every week, one person will win $500. So just make sure you use hashtag AI adoption challenge on an Instagram or LinkedIn post to win. And then there's also the grand prize. But by the way, for the grand prize, you must have posted throughout the challenge. You know what I mean? So you have to post every single week to be eligible for the grand prize. And the reason we do that is just to like help have some kind of incentive for you to be consistent. And that's also why we vary the themes every week. So it's not like the same type of AI tips every single week. So every single week will be a totally different way to use AI, which will be really fun. And then just make sure you do at least one post a week, hashtag AI adoption challenge, and then you'll be eligible for the grand prize, which is $3,000 in cash plus 4 30-minute coaching calls. So, okay. All right. Well, yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for joining. And yeah, just look out for your email. For the first email should be coming tomorrow morning. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody.